Alright, welcome everybody. This is my video on quadratic equation. If you have not done binomial expansion before this, I would highly recommend you to complete that before. It's a lot easier than quadratic equation, a lot shorter as well. It'll be a nice introduction to AS mathematics. I've already uploaded those videos, they're on my channel, but binomial theorem isn't relevant to this chapter. I just recommend doing it beforehand so you have you complete the math syllabus in a sequence. But that's, once again, all up to you. Now for this chapter, I want you to recall something from IGCSE. Remember this equation, remember when learning this was a huge endeavor and it would just be very, very annoying to learn this. Now, you use this equation, I'm just refreshing everyone's memory here, when you have an equation that looks something like this, bx plus c, right? I'm not going to explain how quadratic equation works. I'm 100% sure there are tons of other videos on YouTube which do that much better than I do, or you already know how that works. I'm here to explain the AS content of quadratic equation. Now, basically, the quadratic equation will give us two values of x, x1 and x2. And that's why the quadratic equation is mainly used. See, in simple equations like x2x plus, minus 2 equals to 0, 2x equals to 2, x equals to 1. Now, there's only one definite answer of x. X cannot be any other value. It'll be 1 if this equation is to be true. It can only be 1. But in the quadratic equation, you get two different values of x. However, when b squared minus 4ac, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. The reason why we have this is because of this symbol over here and what comes after it, b squared minus 4ac. If these two aren't present, we'll get the same exact answer, and I'll show you. For example, let's take b as 2, positive 2. So we'd have minus 2 plus minus square root of 0, and let's take 2a as 2 as well. Now, square root of 0 is 0. Minus 2 plus minus 0 over 2. Now, if we subtract 0 and if we add 0 to 2 minus 2, it won't really change, but we'll still get minus 2 no matter what we do. So minus 1. So both x1 and x2 are equal, which is minus 1. So once I put it 0, I'm getting the same exact answer. So if a student said that this exact equation over here, not the entirety of quadratic equation, I'm highlighting it right over here, this part was the one which it decided, it dictated how many solutions we would possibly get, b squared minus 4ac. Now, that's the main part of this chapter, b squared minus 4ac, and I want you guys to remember b squared minus 4ac because we will be using that a lot in this chapter, like a lot. So if a student said b squared minus 4ac, if this specific part is equal to 0, we would only get one solution. The student is correct. And if b squared minus 4ac is greater than 0, the student says we would have two distinct, meaning unique or different, solutions. He would also be correct. And what about b squared minus 4ac below 0? That would not mean two distinct solutions, nor would that mean no solutions. That would mean complex or imaginary roots. Solutions, roots, whatever, imaginary. Now focus on the left corner of the page. Now, I'm 100% sure most of you guys already know that when you square root a negative number like minus 16, you do not get minus 4. Because when you square root when you square a negative number, you will get a positive number. So mathematicians came up with I. So the answer of this would be 4i. And imaginary is also known as complex. And if anything is below, if you square root anything which is below 0, you will get a complex solution, right? So we can use b squared minus 4ac to determine the nature of a curve. And not the nature of a curve, sorry, I meant how many solutions a curve has, right? So b squared minus 4ac, we already covered that this will only produce one solution. Remember what a tangent was? I'll draw a model graph over here. Very, very bad parabola, but you get the gist of it. This is the y-axis and this is the x-axis. Now, a tangent was a straight line which only touches one point of the curve. See? 1 point, not 2 points, not 3, not 4, 1 point only. So, if this line only touches 1 point of this curve, we can say that b squared minus 4ac must equal to 0 to only give one solution. We can't have two roots because that means it's not a tangent. It simply is not a tangent if it touches the curve more than once. Now I want you guys to look at this. Now let's make another curve, smaller curve. And let's make a line which goes like this. Now this line, straight line, is only touching the curve at 2 points. So, and these 2 points are not the exact same. They may have the same y values, right? This is only for this particular case only. But they may have the same y values.